Hey, morning people, call each other, 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 call each other. We want to talk to Hon.Bowman Lusambo. Sir, how are you this morning, sir? Yeah. Good morning, fellow Zambians. Good morning, everyone. How are you guys? Yeah. Where are you watching me from? Where are you watching 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 from? Let's speak and let's talk. Yeah, good morning, people. Yeah, I'll start by, you know, um, yeah, I want to talk to Hon.Bowman Lusambo. Hon.Bowman Lusambo, I would love to tell you that, sir, before you say something, you need to do a research. And you did not do your research very well. That's what I want to tell you. And not everyone who speaks out is being paid by the opposition. That notion should not be there. And sir, do not instill fear in people when they speak out. That's an infringement of human rights. You're going to only infringe people's rights, people who don't know their rights. But people that know their rights, you shall not infringe their rights. You should remember that you're a public leader and you're accountable for every statement that you make. And the statements and the empty threats that you made today will haunt you one day. Hon.Bowman Lusambo, hunger has paid me. Hunger and poverty has paid me. And I want to remind you that during your time as a youth, you were a die-hard MMD youth. And you used to attack my late leader, may his soul rest in peace, Michael Chellah. Honorable Lusambo, you're on record of beating people. You're on record of beating PF cadres, PF supporters. You're on record of beating those who are opposing the MMD government, and no one touched you, no one threatened you. I remember I was with President Sata in Chama, and he said, you young people, my supporters, you should be like Bowman Lusambo. Now, Honorable Bowman Lusambo, there's no opposition that has paid me, for your own information. And I want to just tell you something, sir, that I'm not a cameraman, I'm a photographer. Get your facts right. I'm a photographer and not a cameraman. And you need to apologize on that statement. I challenge you to apologize. This thing of threatening people should end. This is not Kaunda time, where people should be threatened and people should be no, sir. You have been appointed by the president to serve the people of Zambia with dignity and not to mistreat the Zambian people. I want to remind you that in 2014, 2015, this person you called disgruntled cameraman is the one that documented President Lungu. Okay? This guy documented President Lungu countrywide. I went with President Lungu around the country. You were not there. You just came after we had dug, we had broken the ground, and everything was working very well. Then you came. You came after me in the PF party, sir. Okay? And you found we had already done everything else. And I respect you as a member of the party. But you need to ask Anthony Mukwita, KBF, Emmanuel Mwamba, Brian Hapunda, even the president himself, which people formed what was his media team. The people that formed the media team for the president, that brought him and that ushered President Lungu into office. I'm not apologizing for anything, because what I'm saying is that what is happening in our country is wrong. And I love President Lungu more than anyone else. The person who loves the president will open up and tell the president the truth. And if we love our president, you and I should help him in this fight against corruption. Now, leadership calls for humility and not threats. Leadership calls for humility. Okay? In your time, you threatened that. You threatened that. You remember? You threatened that. Okay? And I remember very well when Wasata, in Chief Murilo, Dr. Guy Scott was there when he told us to say, you should be like Bowman Lusambo. So, you should not use your position of power to threaten citizens. You should use your position of power to inspire young people. Inspire the young people. When you inspire the young people, you leave a legacy. What kind of legacy do you want to leave? Because you're not going to be in that position. Posterity judges people. Posterity judges people. We have a lot of information about you, sir. I never mentioned you. We never mentioned you. And I want to let you know that whatever information you have about me is wrong. Ask everyone who knows me, from even our loving president, our dearly beloved president. If you asked him, I have won 6 international awards. I have represented Zambia to more than 50 countries in my capacity. I have marketed Zambia to the international community. I need to remind you that I have marketed this country. Let me tell you, sir, that I shoot for Idols SA. I shoot for Vogue magazine. I shoot for South Africa Fashion Week. I've won 6 international awards. I've done I do works for CNN. I receive $100 per image. I represented Zambia, okay, at the World Summit in South Korea. I have represented Zambia at the photography and fashion in Indaba in Paris. I have represented Zambia in a lot of countries. Okay, so we need not to threaten citizens. We need to respect citizens who are airing out, because what they are doing is they are helping the president. If the president does not, we have no access to the president. What means do you want us to use? Okay. For speaking out the truth, and for hearing out our views that people are suffering, that there's a lot of corruption in the country, you will come and threaten us. No. You know? And Wakamba, we all come from the copper belt. We all come from the copper belt. Honorable Lusambo, we all come from the copper belt. So, you need to inspire young people. You need to inspire young people. The way you are speaking, are you inspiring young people? Are you sure you are inspiring young people? Are you sure that the people looking up to you like me are being inspired by the way you are speaking, your language, the way you it's not inspiring at all. We are not going to live in a country where we are intimidated. When things are wrong, things are wrong. and you're not helping the president. You're accompanying the president in the way that you're speaking. Okay. Then, in 2014, 2015, this person you called the disgruntled man, ask our Honor the Vice President, Inonge Mutukwa Winner, Mrs. Winner, ask her about Cornelius Tukuta. Ask her the role that this person you are calling disgruntled played in ushering President Lungu into power. Even the president himself will tell you. Honorable Bowman Lusambo, I know the party, the Patriotic Front Party, too well. Too well. You are not going to intimidate us. You actually owe me an apology for the way you spoke out and said disgruntled. I challenge you to apologize. I challenge you to apologize. Because, this trend of threatening people, of instilling fear in citizens, that's not how you rule. True leaders do not instill fear in the citizens. True leaders do not instill fear and start threatening people. Oh, they are naked. They are naked. What do you mean by naked? Are you planning to kill me? Are you planning to kill me? That in itself is a threat. When you say these young people these young people are naked, first things first, you have wrong information about me, that I'm being funded by the opposition. Which opposition is funding me? There is no opposition that's funding me. Hunger and poverty and everything that's happening in our country is what has paid me. For how long are we going to be quiet and see things going wrong? Things are not going wrong. We have to help the president. I actually love the president more than you think. If you ask the president, ask Sunday Chanda, ask Mr. Sunday Chanda, ask Mr. Emmanuel Mwamba, ask Anthony Mukwita, ask even Kaiser Zulu, ask Kaiser Zulu the roles we played. Ask people that know the party very well. How long I've come with this party. So you cannot look. I come from the politics of Michael Chilufya Sata, right? Where we are not going to be intimidated for speaking out. Where is our country going? What precedents are you setting? What precedents are you setting? What kind of example are you setting to the future generations when you come out and speak like that to threaten people that are speaking out on the wrongs that are happening in our country? I don't think you got the blessing from the president to speak like that. Sir, you need to apologize. You need to apologize, because there are people, look, there are some of us people who know freedoms and rights. So you need to apologize to us, the young people, okay? Because we know a lot of information about you. We know a lot of things. Now, did you defend the president against the blue lies that were leveled against our president over Mukula? You never came out and defended the president. You never came out and defended the president. You are failing to defend the president. All you are doing is praising the president. Praising. We don't refuse praising the president where he's done. There are a lot of things that the president has done right. And there are certain areas. The areas where he has done right, we shall praise. The areas where he has not maybe seen what is happening, we shall help him see. To say, Mr. President, here is wrong. Actually, when a leader sees that there are people who are seeing things in a certain way, they will advise. And if you love the President Lungu, stop even those just everyday praises. Our president is very intelligent and our president is very wise. He's watching you, and I can guarantee you, I know President Lungu. He's watching you. President Lungu knows me. You came, Honorable Lusambo, you came in the party when we had already done everything else. You fought. This is the party that you fought. Let me take you back in history. 2011. 2011, Honorable Lusambo, you were attacking PF cadres, PF supporters. You were there to attack them. Okay, you were attacking these people. Today, you want to come and attack people that are not even. I'm not in the opposition. I don't belong, for your own record, I don't belong to any opposition political party. I don't belong to any political party. That you need to know. And because when I speak out, doesn't mean that I belong to a political party. I challenge you, sir, to apologize. I have won 6 international awards. I have represented this country. For your own record, I won Africa Photographer of the Year. There is no Zambian photographer that has won Africa Photographer of the Year. There is no South Africa. There is no one. I was the first person to win the Lens Awards Africa Photographer of the Year. I won Best Runway Fashion Photographer in Ethiopia. I've won a lot of international awards, and I demand an apology from you for calling me disgruntled. I am not a disgruntled photographer, and I tell you, sir, apologize. Apologize. If you are a true leader, if you are a leader who's wise, if you are wise enough, your position of minister is respectable. You are supposed to be honorable and not behave like it, not in the manner you came out, sir. The manner you came out, sir, does not show honorability. It does not show honorability. It does not show honorability. And I want to challenge you to apologize. Now, Honorable Sambo, when we come to, they say that he who comes to justice must come with clean hands. When you come to condemn what we are doing today as youths, standing up for the truth, speaking out for the voiceless, you should check yourself during your time. What were you doing? Actually, we are not even violent as you used to be, because you were violent. You were violent. And I can tell you something. Next year, in case things happen, you see, the thing about politics is that when people decide, when people are tired, you cannot intimidate. When hunger strikes and people are hungry, not even intimidation, not even the fear to die can stop us. We cannot be scared of death or anything. We are not scared. I personally would love to tender in my statement that I'm not scared to lose my life, that I'm not scared for anything. History shall go down in this country one day. In case anything happens to me from your threats, history will go down in this country. That for speaking out the truth, a minister threatened the people that spoke the truth. That's what you have said on record. And that video has been saved. And that video will be played years from now. So these are the leaders that we had. Look at how they were speaking when young people came out to challenge them. When corruption is, there is no one, even the president has spoken a number of times on the fight against corruption. When there's corruption in this country, why should we keep quiet? Why should we keep quiet? We should not keep quiet. You should not silence the voice that speaks out the truth. You should not silence the voices. You should sit down, think through, what are these young people saying? Listen to our pleas. Actually, you should call us. My number is 0962 443045. Call us. Call. The best thing you could have done as a leader is to call. Young guys, what is the problem? What are we going through? That is what leadership calls for. When you see there is uneasiness in the country, and I challenge Kings Malembe, there is nothing that Kings Malembe said that was wrong in that video. He just said, Mr. President, consider the Zambians. Our president is the father of this nation. Let me educate you on that, sir. President Lungu is not only your president. Get this right. Get this right. You are not the only child of President Lungu. You are not the only person who is entitled to the benefits of this country. President Lungu should be accessed by every one of us. No, believe you me, there is no Zambian that hates President Lungu. What Zambians don't like is what is happening around him, the people around him. No one hates the president. Let me put that right. Don't come out like you're the only one who loves President Lungu. We all love President Lungu and we all care for him. So do not come out and start thinking that, oh, you are the only one that loves the president. And anyone who's close to the president, you want to block. You want anyone who speaks, you want to cut their mouths. You want them to stop talking. No. Let's not use intimidation. Leaders should not rule through intimidation, through threats. Leaders should use wisdom, should apply wisdom. Apply wisdom. Apply wisdom as a leader. See the people. Why is it that my children in my province are crying? Why are they crying? Call Biflo. Sit him down. Call Chellah Tukuta. Sit him down. You don't even know my name. Don't call me disgruntled. I know my rights. I know the role that I played in the party. I know very well. Ask Chandaniela. Ask KBF. They will tell you. Ask these people. Ask. Actually, the best person who can even explain to you is our Honor, the Vice President. Okay, I'll post a photo where I was with our Honor, the Vice President in Mongu. You were not in the party that time. Do you know how you came in the party? You came in the party through former President Rupia Banda. That's how you joined the PF. So you cannot come and start thinking that you are the one that has loved President Lungu. Before you came, there are people that loved President Lungu that campaigned and put him where he is. The Zambian people love President Lungu more than you think. So do not come with this Muzungwani Konde kind of mentality and start threatening people. No. We need to stand up for what is true. We need to stand up for what is right. When things are going wrong, we shall not keep quiet. When things are not okay, we shall not keep quiet. Honorable Lusambo, I demand that you make an apology, a public apology. And do your research very well. Because when you have wrong information, you misinform the nation. What you did was misinforming the nation that Chellah Tukuta has been paid by the opposition. Now, I can also challenge you to say, name that opposition that paid me the money. I'm challenging you to mention the opposition, to mention the candidate that paid me the money. I'm challenging you to come up with facts that I was paid. Come up with facts, because that can be defamation of character, that I'm being paid for speaking out the truth. It can be defamation of character, that we are being paid for speaking out the truth. For speaking out the truth, you are simply saying I'm corrupt. That's why I'm speaking out the truth. That's why I'm saying all these things. I'm not saying all these things because I'm being paid. Okay? I'm not being paid. The hunger, the poverty, the corruption that's happening in our country, that's robbing the future of this country, is the reason why we are speaking out. We want to help the president. Anyone that loves the president will tell him the truth so that he may retain power. The office of the president must be respected. And when we say it must be respected, it means that even the people that surround the president should be people that respect the president. The people that are around the presidents should not use the name of the president in doing wrong things. That's what it means to respect the office of the president. Do not use the name of the president in vain, in dirty things. Do not. I love the president. If there's a person that loves the president knows this very well, that I love him very much. We need to apply wisdom. We need to apply wisdom when we are handling citizens. When we are handling people that we are leading, we should apply wisdom. Honorable Lusambo, I'm challenging you, stop applying threats. That position is a ministerial position. You should not use your position to threaten citizens. You should not use your position. You should not apply your powers to instill fear in citizens. That's an infringement of rights. And we as youths can stand up because we know our rights and challenge you to say you need to step down on moral grounds. I am a citizen of this country. When I'm affected, I am supposed to speak out. Where is my freedom of speech? Where is my where are my rights? Honorable Lusambo, I want to remind you that I'm not as down as other cadres. Those cadres who you just go and, unleash threats. No. No. I am very educated. Very educated. I learned my civics. In civics, I don't even need a degree in anything. Just in civics. In civics used to teach us about our rights, our freedoms, and everything. And I want to challenge you that Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Mama Kankasa, Michael Chilufya Sata, all these people that fought for our freedoms, what they fought for are these rights. They fought for these rights. These people fought for these freedoms and for these rights so that we should be able and we should be free to speak out on wrongs. In your time, in MMD, you had the freedom, the rights to speak. I want to remind you also that you used to be on Dr. Nevas Mumba's side. Okay? So, check your life. Check your life, sir. Check your life. Before you issue threats on people, before you call us disgruntled, and I demand an apology from you. I demand an apology from you. For calling me disgruntled, I demand an apology. For inciting the citizens that I'm being paid to speak out, I need you, sir. I need you to provide evidence. I need you to provide evidence that I'm being paid by the opposition. And when you say we are naked, what do you mean? Are you meaning that you want to get rid of us? Are you meaning that I should be scared to stay in my own country and start running for my life? That you want I should be scared that I'll be killed? Those three things, I demand an explanation. Where am I being paid? Who is paying me? Which opposition leader is paying me? And where did they give me? And how much money did they give me? I'd eat the money in silence. Which money did they give me? I would love to know how much they paid me. I would love to know. If speaking against corruption and calling it what it is a crime, is it? I love President Lungu and I respect that office. And I want to tell you, sir, let me just say this. When you are saying that the office of the president needs to be respected, who doesn't know that it needs to be respected? In civics, we learned about the executive. We learned about the legislature. We learned about the local government. We learned about all these bodies. And we know what constitutes of the office of the president. What we are challenging is that the people around him are wrong. That the people around him are wrong. Now, if you are the people that advise the president, then you're in a wrong position. Because a person who has the opportunity to be close to such an honorable office, a person who's called honorable, should not apply such kind of things. You should not say those things, sir. So when you say these boys are naked, what are you trying to say? You're trying to say that we are not protected. I want to remind you that as a citizen of this country, I'm entitled to security. That's why there's Zambia police. That's why there's Home Affairs. As a citizen of this country, I'm entitled to be protected. Okay? I'm entitled to be protected. And I want to take you back to civics again. Very, 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 very briefly. To go back to civics again. Okay? In case you've forgotten that infringement of rights is not allowed in a democracy. Now, I want to also to remind you that Zambia is a democracy. Zambia is a democracy. And Zambia being a democracy means that we should not be led through dictatorship is not allowed. So, you being minister of Lusaka province does not mean that you apply. You should be in line with our president. Our president is a democratic president. That's why, because our president is democratic, that's why August, second week of August, as the week of elections. The second week of August, Tuesday, is an election. So we know the president has set, um, has made a lot of pronouncements that show that he respects democratic tendencies. So, every Zambian citizen, I want to set an example to the future generations, to the future people, to the future leaders, to the future youths, and to every youth out there, that when we are threatened, we should not be scared. And I want to remind you, sir, you are saying disgruntled photographer. Let me just run you through some of the things that I've achieved as a photographer. I shoot for Idols SA. I shoot for South Africa Fashion Week. I shoot for Vogue magazine. I shoot for the World Summit. I shoot for Nigerian celebrities, for Nollywood. I have won 6 international awards. I was documenting Kasama tourism in Kasama. I was in Lokimva. I was in Livingstone 2 weeks ago, documenting our country. I was documenting the country. And I have documented this country and represented this country so well. If you ask anyone out there, the respect that I have for this photography, I deserve an apology from you for calling me disgruntled. Because this disgruntled guy, when photographers were not able, were demanding monies from the party in 2014, 2015, ask Honorable Chama, who is that Minister of Defense, the Minister of Defense, Mr. Davis Chama. Ask him, the young people, the young person that volunteered to shoot for free, that did it for free. I went wide. If you want to know more, ask Mr. Chanda, who is the president's ADC, aide de camp. Ask Mr. Chanda to say, do you know this young man? Mr. Chanda will tell you. Ask Mr. Sande Chanda. Ask Brian Hapunda. Ask Emmanuel Mwamba. Ask Anthony Mkwita. Ask KBF. Ask Madam Jean Kapata. Ask Honorable Christopher Yaluma. Ask Honorable Yaluma. Ask them. Ask our honor the Vice President. Ask our honor the Vice President. I played my role because I loved the party. When everything was happening during the time of Dr. Guy Scott and President Lungu, when he was the Secretary General, ask my brother, Comac. Ask Comac and ask KBF how we were running around. When there was a convention in Kabwe, ask the people that were organizing the convention in Kabwe. Ask the people that were running around to do everything in Kabwe at the convention. Were you at the PF convention in Kabwe? Were you at the PF convention in Kabwe? You are not addressing a person that doesn't know what they're doing. You are not addressing a person who's blank. You were addressing a person who knows what they're doing. But you didn't get your facts right. That's why you are speaking like that. Because if you had gotten every fact around, you would not come out and threaten me and say, that cameraman. No, 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 no. You are speaking cameraman, but I'm the only person that has been speaking out who is a photographer. Now I want to correct you that I'm not a cameraman. I'm a photographer. I'm a photographer. The party that brought us into politics, which is Patriotic Front, its leader, Michael Sata, the founder of the party. Let me take you back. 2002, when I met President Michael Sata in Ndola, Masala, Chinese compound, he came at Masala grounds in Ndola. Michael Chilufya Sata came and he found me as a young man there. He called me. As a young man, he called me, young man, what is your name? I said, my name is Cornelius Chellah Tukuta. And he said, two future campaign managers to 1D. Two future campaign managers to 1D. Mule Kosabaichi. Mule Onfa. He even gave me, I remember very well, he took some and he said, which school are you at? I was at Luansha. I was in Luansha. And he said, young man, I want you young people to be brave. I want you young people to be brave like me. I'm speaking for the poor people and for the voiceless. In case you don't know the foundation of PF, Honorable Lusambo, the foundation of PF is that of speaking for the voiceless and for the poor people. PF is a pro-poor party. PF was founded on the pro-poor campaign. More money in your pockets, more jobs for the Zambian citizens. PF is a pro-poor party, in case you didn't know, sir, because you came from MMG. So probably I need to educate you on these things. When Michael Sata founded PF, he told us, the young people, he called us. I'm one of the people that was privileged to work with him. Now let me tell you that there's a lot of young people like Mwamba Penny. Ask Mwamba Penny. Mwamba Penny is a grandchild to the late Michael Chilufya Sata. Ask Fabiola Sata. Ask Mwango Sata. On the day of elections, 2011, I with Mr. Michael Chilufya Sata were in the same car when he was telling Edward Mumbi there at Lusaka Girls. I am the one who was moving with him in the car, taking photos of him. I was not always close to the and let me tell you this. I was not always near the president. No, I am one of the people that President Sata told to say, everywhere I go, I need you to be there, but I don't want people to know that you are close to me. I don't want people to know that you are close to me. Ask Dr. Kaseva, she will tell you. Ask Honorable GBM, Geoffrey Wadamwamba, he will tell you. Michael Chilufya Sata inspired me and motivated me to take up photography. Young man, you can take up photography. He was a pro-poor leader. What you are doing you're not speaking for the poor people. You are not standing with the poor people. So you are simply killing the whole pro-poor that PF stands for. You are the people that have killed the whole pro-poor campaign issue. PF is a pro-poor party. In PF, we used to challenge President Sata. In PF, we used to tell Mr. Sata to say, President Sata, these things are not going right. If you want to know all these things, sir, I would love you to ask, not even going far. Just pick your phone call. Just pick your phone call. Call our Honor, the Vice President, Madam Inonge Wina. Call her. Just call her. Say, do you know Chellah Tukuta? I was in the 8:15 hours choir at St. Ignatius that used to sing for President Sata. When President Sata won the elections in 2011, we were at High Court when he was being sworn in. And when I was trying to wave at him, he saw me and he called. When everyone was trying to push me away, he said, young man, come here. Mulekyoyo. That's what he said. Mulekyoyo. He spoke for the poor people. He stood for the poor people. He did not stand for the poor people. He stood with the poor people. He spoke for the poor people. He spoke for the voiceless. That was the Michael Sata that founded the party where you are minister. So I would love to remind you that you are minister in the Patriotic Front, which does not tolerate dictatorial tendencies. I would love you to dig deeper and look at my history and ask these people that I've mentioned. When President Sata won and there was an event at State House, no one else, he called and said, Iweka Cornelio. He used to call me Cornelio. Iweka Cornelio. Mukese State House Navanove. We went to State House. Even pictures are there. I will post when we were at State House. The first time I entered State House in my life was when President Sata won the elections. When he became president of this country, that's when I had access to State House. Now, we need to remind you that this party has been a pro-poor party. And for you to come and accuse me that I'm being paid by the opposition is not right. Because I've always stood, and every person has accused me and told me and called me all sorts of names. Hey, you are a PF guy. You are just a PF cadre. You are just a PF cadre. You are just a PF cadre. When you stand out and speak for the people of Zambia and you try and tell the president to say, sir, things are not okay in the country. I don't have access to President Lungu. I don't have access to President Lungu anymore. So I have no channel to air out my grievances to the president to say, sir, I see these things going wrong, and next year you may lose the elections. If you love the president, advise the president correctly so that he can retain power next year. If you love him. So I would love you to remember that in your time, you were a youth and you called yourself MMD diehard. Remember that. And have you apologized to the Patriotic Front cadres, supporters that you beat up, the cadres that you mistreated, the people that you were insulting, the people that you called names? Have you apologized? Have you apologized? Have you apologized to the people in the Patriotic Front in the party which has given you a position, a ministerial position, I'm sure they've forgiven you, because PF is a party led by a president that forgives, that's got a heart to forgive. If President Lungu did not forgive you and remembered the wrongs and all the things that you did when you were a diehard supporter, he wouldn't have given you that position. You should be grateful to God that President Lungu has given you a position to serve as Lusaka minister. And being called honorable means that you need to act honorably. And be honorable, do not use power and threats to rule. Always remember, before you say things, you know why PF has been dented? The image of PF has been dented is because there is a lot of people, wrong people, who did not understand maybe the vision of the Patriotic Front that have surrounded our president. Any genuine PF will agree with me that if you are truly a PF, a diehard PF from way back, you are not as close as you used to be to Michael Sata. We used to call President Michael Sata very often. He would call, pa Urikwisa, you would call, very accessible. But now you people, you want to make us apologize for speaking the things that are wrong. A wrong is a wrong, Honorable Lusambo. And I respect you. And because I respect you, I suggest that you respect me and retrieve that statement disgruntled. Retrieve that statement disgruntled. We have seen the great Frederick Chiluba. Oh, let me not give the great Frederick Chiluba. No, let me not give that example. Honorable Bowman Lusambo, do you remember Castro Chiluba? Do you remember Castro Chiluba and how powerful Castro Chiluba used to be? Castro Chiluba used to be one of the most powerful people in this country. Son to the late, may he so rest in peace, Frederick Chiluba. He was such a powerful young man, Castro Chiluba. Castro Chiluba would go in a club and tell the whole club to close, and pays money and gets women and intimidate people and beat up people and do all kinds of wrongs. Castro Chiluba is nowhere. Castro Chiluba, may he so rest in peace, died begging. And no one felt sorry for him because of the kind of behavior that he portrayed when he was in a position of power. When you are in the position of power, be mindful of the things you do and say. Because when you are no longer in the position of power, reality humbles you. Reality dawns. Reality dawns. And when reality dawns, things are not okay. We may look as fools today. You may intimidate us. You may call us names. You may tell us whatever you want to tell us. But I want to tell you this. The whole world is watching you. Facebook is global. The whole world is watching you. And you have registered yourself in the history of this country, issuing threats on young people that spoke out. You want Kings Malembe to apologize. Honorable Bowman Lusambo, there are so many people that love the president, but they've not come out and spoken. There are people that have loved. For how long have you loved President Lungu, Honorable Bowman Lusambo? This is 2020. You became PF when? You only became PF. Actually, I didn't even leave you in PF when I stopped being active in PF. I stopped being active in PF in 2016. That's when I stopped being active. That's the time you came. Pick up your phone, call Her Honor the Vice President, call Emmanuel Mwamba, call KBF. We should not be intimidated. We shall speak. We are not, and I should reiterate this. When we speak against the evils that are happening in the country, we are not attacking the president. And I'll tell you what, I respect the presidency. If there's a person that understands the president, the office of the president, okay? If there's people that understand the office of the president, I understand the office of the president too well. Because when Michael Chilufya won the election and the system took over, they told us he is no longer a party property. He is a state property. The state is in charge. That's why there is the office of the president, there is the intelligence, there is the police, there is all these people that we respect. The office of the president is bigger than anyone else. So, always calling commander of commander, Shan, singing praises does not signify you love the president. Does not mean you love the president just because you speak. When you are speaking, you are using the name of the president, always wanting to get backup. And when you are addressing people, for once, address people without all those praises. Just address people. Simply speak about it. No, Lusaka, no. Look, it's everyone loves the president. You don't need to remind people that, oh, I love the president. You're the one who always reminds people, I love the president. I love the president. We all love the president. We all love the president. The president will tell you, we love him. There's no one who doesn't. There is no Zambian person in their right mind that hates President Lungu. No, it's the things, it's the people that are around him. We all agree that the people around him probably are not, this information is not reaching him. Things are not reaching him. Okay? Things are not reaching our president. When we speak out, it's not reaching to him. So what do? We don't have access. So we speak out. We speak out and we say things as they are. So let us not think that by singing praises, amalumbonga yafula, icho chibemba, mukapwisha mwebeni. Amalumbonga yafula, too much of praises, too much of everything is bad. And you need to come down to reality. Come down to reality. Giants in this world have been brought down. Let me just take you back. In case you have forgotten, we used to have Saddam Hussein. We used to have Muammar Gaddafi. Those were giants, Honorable Bowman Lusambo. I'm addressing you, sir. Where is Muammar Gaddafi? Where is Saddam Hussein? Where is Saddam Hussein? You can only threaten people up to a certain extent. But I want to tell you this with respect. We shall fear no more. We shall not be scared. We are not this. Just because you see me in the camera does not mean I'm not educated. I'm educated. I am well traveled. I am well exposed. Very well exposed. Very well exposed. I shoot P Square, the Davidos. I brand all these people. And let me tell you, ask Honorable Jonas Chanda, who's your fellow MP in Indola. Ask Honorable Jonas Chanda. He will tell you. He will tell you. So let us not use the positions of power to intimidate the citizens. Let us use our positions, your position, to serve the people of this country. William Banda was a giant. William Banda was such a giant. You know that. At Intercity. Where is William Banda? The moment that MMD lost elections, there were reports that the shops for MMD people, because what happened is that the same intimidations that you are doing now created fear, and people are just waiting to say, the moment we are going to vote and usher these people into power, you are the first people that, if for example anything happened, that another party won the elections, you will be the people to run away, and you leave the same president you are praising, and you are always calling, all these praises. You'll be the first people to run away. The people that praise the leader too much, the people that always praise the people too much, become a danger to society and to the leaders. Too much of praises, too much of this. Let's apply wisdom. Before we speak to other people, let's apply wisdom. What impact are we leaving? What kind of message are we communicating? How are we inspiring young people? We are not going to be scared, and I'm not going to apologize for anything. I want to set this precedence that I did not commit any crime for speaking out the truth, for speaking out for the people of Zambia. I'm a citizen of this country. I know my rights. I know my freedoms. I love President Lungu. And I want to remind the young people, as much as we may be dissatisfied with whatever is happening, let us respect the office of the president. Let us remember that he deserves the respect, the love. Yes, you may disagree with our president, but let us respect his office. But Hon.Bowman Lusambo, I'm reminding you, I'm not apologizing. You will not use fear or intimidation. You will not intimidate us. You will not intimidate us. For speaking out the truth, you will not. And I demand an apology from you for calling me disgruntled cameraman. I'm not a disgruntled cameraman. I'm a photographer. I have represented this country in a lot of countries. I have documented this country's tourism and marketed it. Every Zambian that has followed Chellah Tukuta will tell you the things that I've done. In case you didn't know, Chellah is more popular out of this country than yourself. Chellah is not just a Zambian public figure. Chellah is a global public figure. Chellah is a brand that's known in America. Chellah is a brand that has redefined the photography industry, and I deserve respect for redefining and for revolutionizing photography in this country. As we speak today, young Zambians, young Africans want to be photographers because of me. This industry used to be disrespected. I have taken this industry out there. I shoot idols, they say, in South Africa, in case you don't watch. I shoot South Africa Fashion Week, in case you don't know. I shoot for Vogue magazine, in case you didn't know. I shoot for CNN, in case you didn't know. I have shot for Al Jazeera. I have shot for BBC. When you go to Nigeria, in Lagos, you go to Lagos, if you didn't know how difficult it is to work with Nigerian celebrities, I want to remind you that I am the first Zambian photographer that has broken into the Nigerian market. I have broken into the Nigerian market. When you go to Lagos or Nigeria, they know me. When you go to South Africa, they know me. When you go wherever you can mention Kenya, they know me. I have educated more than 10,000 photographers across Africa. Zambian guy. I won an award for impacting, for contributing to the education of African photographers and for impacting young African photographers with knowledge. This history will remain written about Chellah Tukuta. This history shall stand. And I'm now, instead of me just taking photographs and taking pictures, I have decided to speak for the people of Zambia, because when I was growing up, the person that introduced me to politics is the late Michael Chilufya, that told me politics should be politics of people and not politics of power. What you're practicing is politics of power. If politics of using your power, instead of using your power for the right things, you're using your power for wrong things. And those wrong things is intimidating the citizens, instilling fear in the citizens so that people should be scared. I demand an apology for calling me disgruntled photographer, for saying that I was paid by the opposition. I would love you to tell us which opposition leaders paid us. And I would love you to clarify what you mean we are naked. These are naked boys. Clarify to us what you mean being naked. Honorable Bowman Lusambo, if you are indeed honorable, clarify those three things. Clarify those things. I'm speaking as a citizen of this country, and I love my president. In case you didn't know, let me also take you. I was at Kasenda Primary School, went to Mpelembe Primary School, went to Luansha Boys High School, and then I went to Serenje Technical High School. I did pure sciences. I passed. I'm not a grade 12 dropout or a grade 12 failure. No. I passed with merits and distinctions. I passed with merits and distinctions. I did not fail. Ask anyone who will tell you about how they used to call me Cornel G in school. So when we speak, it's not that we don't understand what we're talking about. We understand. We've read the Constitution. Maybe lawyers need to interpret to you what the Constitution says about rights of citizens. I'm not here to render an apology. I'm here to challenge you that if you are indeed honorable, retrieve your statement. Retrieve your statement. If you are indeed honorable, call us, young people, what is happening. Wise leaders will sit down and think through. Why are you agitated? We have so much information about you, and I never mentioned you, but there's so much information about you. That leadership is using and applying wisdom. Leadership, Zambia is a Christian nation. If indeed Zambia is a Christian nation, true leaders should practice what they preach. I passed my grade 12 with distinctions and merits. I was doing pure sciences. That's the thing. Serenje Boys High School. Sebotek. Mpompompo Barak, where birds used to fly backwards. I don't know if they still fly backwards. You go to Luansha Boys in Pelembe Primary School, my teachers or the schools will give you a record of how intelligent this young man is. Go to seminary, where I used to be in seminary at St. Bonaventure, and see the distinctions I was getting. Whichever institution I went to, go and see the distinctions I was getting and how I was passing my exams. I would love to appeal to the president to protect us, the citizens of this country. Because as citizens of this country, we deserve to be protected. There are already people that Hamos Chanda and his clique are sending to check where I am so that I'm attacked for speaking out the truth. What has become of our country, sir? This country has become something else. That when people speak out the truth, they are scared to lose their lives. But I want to set this record that if there will be a person that will lose life for speaking out the truth, I'm ready. And I'm not going to be scared. And fear will not make me say anything. I therefore end by saying, Hon.Bowman Lusambo, if you are indeed honorable, retrieve your statement and apologize for calling me disgruntled cameraman. And I just want, before I end this video, I want us to have a moment of silence for the late Michael Chilufyasat. Because Michael Chilufyasat left us an example of speaking for the voiceless. He laid an example and a foundation that educated people are cowards. That God stopped creating land. God stopped making land. He demarcated the lands. God has stopped demarcating land. God gave us this country, Mother Zambia. And there's no other country, even in a home, you who we call our brothers and sisters, who are close to the president, you block the president from hearing the truth. Zambian people are suffering. There's a lot of corruption going on in the country. What is wrong with standing with the president and speaking out? What is wrong with us calling a spade a spade. It is very sad to see the kind of ministers that we have, the kind of leaders that we have today. To be honest with you, Honorable Lusambo, your style of leadership is not inspiring. Your style of leadership is not a leadership that someone can look up to. You are setting a bad example to the young people who are coming up. That people should use their positions of power to intimidate citizens. That people should use money and what they have to fight the poor people, to instill fear in people. I would love to remind you once again that the party in which you are minister was founded by a man who was a pro-poor, a pro-voiceless. He spoke for the voiceless. He spoke for the poor people of this country. He spoke for the people of this country. And Zambia has got a record. And Zambia, Michael Sata, will go down in history with a name that he spoke for the poor people. He had the Zambian people at heart. I am a Zambian. My allegiance is to the Zambian people. My allegiance is to the president of this country. Because the president of this country is voted by the people of Zambia. Even those who did not vote for him, he's still their president. President Lungu is a president for every Zambian, be it opposition, be it ruling. He's the president of everyone. Even those people come from other countries and come into this country, he is their father. He is our father. And I want to reiterate this. I knew when I used to go to President Lungu's house in Lewanika Close, I would sit down with him in the sitting room. And I remember I used to tell him, sir, we are going to fight and we are going to work hard until you become president. I used to call him. We used to talk. It's that love that I've had for him that bends and hurts to see that my president is surrounded by people that do not mean well. I would love my president to stand with the people of Zambia. To stand with the people of Zambia. Stand with the people of Zambia. The people of Zambia voted for you. Honorable Lusambo, you're not the only person who voted for President Lungu. Millions of us, thousands of us, voted for President Lungu. Even those of us who didn't vote for him, those who didn't vote for him, are still his people. He's a president for everyone. For everyone. I want this to be an example to every youth. That fear and intimidation should not scare us from speaking the truth, from airing out what we think is right. When something is going wrong, it's going wrong. Let us remember our late Michael Sata And there's a song I want to play. This song, every one of you knows that Michael Chilufyasata used to love this song. Okay, every one of you knows that Michael Chilufyasata used to love this song. There's a song I want to play. Ichebo chandiniche kutira imwe bonse. I think let me get the guitar and play it. Ichebo chandiniche kutila imwe bonse mulete mwana. Ichebo chandiniche kutila imwe bonse mulete mwana. Mute mwane vane bonse mute mwane mwe vachivusa wandi mukonke fe mufyandi nainenka musenda mukaya mona tata muvumi wape mute mwane vane bonse mute mwane mwe vachivusa wandi mukonke fe mufyandi naimwe nka musenda mukaya mona tata muvumi wape mute mwane vane bonse mute mwane mwe vachivusa wandi mukonke fe mufyandi nainenka musenda mukaya mona tata muvumi wambe.